Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how I do these like stained glass nails. I've seen these sort of like transparent nails going around a lot on Instagram. I think people are calling them like glass nails or stained glass nails or jelly nails or whatever. But I had this gel, so I wanted to show you. I am doing just like a acrylic with some shattered pieces and then putting this gel over on top. And of course everything will be linked in the description as usual. So let's just kind of get started. So I didn't have any nails on, so I am just going and I'm doing my cuticles with this little bit. This is one of my favorite bits to use, and it's super gentle and it just sort of takes off like all of the like cuticle protein. Usually I don't show myself working with the drill, but I've gotten way better. And then next I am just sort of etching the top of my nail a little bit, just super lightly so that I can take off the shiny layer. And then next I'm going to be putting my dehydrant on. Make sure to not put this stuff on your cuticle. Then I'm going to be putting my tips on, my favorite tips as usual. You guys know the drill by now. Then I'm just using this Wonder Bond nail glue. I've really liked this nail glue and it's become my favorite just because I feel like it is so strong. It sort of takes a little bit to actually stick, so you have to hold it longer than you normally would, but after that it is on there for sure. And I'm going to be cutting these a little bit, just ever so slightly, so we can get a coffin shape instead of a stiletto. Then I'm going to be going in with my No Lift Nails primer, and this is the best primer that I have used, and I've noticed that my nails have stayed on way longer ever since I've started using this primer. Again, make sure not to get this one on your cuticles. Then, because I was not super good at regular acrylic, I am going to be putting a dip acrylic base on. And if you are good with regular acrylic, then you just go at it. But I decided that I was really going to learn, but I didn't want these to pop off since these were the nails I was going out of town a lot. So I'm just putting a base of dip acrylic, so I'm mushing my real nail and the tip together. And then I'm just putting one full layer over my entire nail of the dip acrylic. Thinking back, I really should have only put this on my actual nail, because with dip acrylic you do end up with a little bit of bubbles, so that's always the trade-off. But I knew that doing this, it would make sure that they will not lift 100% for literally weeks, and they didn't. I had a lot of trouble getting these off even after a month. And then once that was done, I'm just doing one more layer and then I'm calling it good. I went ahead and just filed the sides a little bit to make sure that when I put the just regular acrylic over top, it's not going to be as hard to file. Then I'm putting the dip acrylic activator on before I do the regular acrylic. I'm using the Vanessa's Nails monomer, and this one obviously smells bad, but not, normally as bad. And then the Long Hair Pretty Nails clear acrylic. I really like this one. It's super, super clear, and I haven't had any bubbles with it. And then I am just cutting up some of this film that I'm going to be actually sticking inside my nails. And I was doing this a couple different ways. I started out sort of just wetting my nails with some monomer and sticking them on there, and then just putting a layer of acrylic over top like I'm doing here. I started using a really big brush, and I found that it makes it a lot easier for me. I know that's totally different for everyone, but now I'm actually able to work with it a little bit. After I was having a little bit of issues with that sticking, I decided to just put a thin layer of acrylic on and then put the strips into that. I know I am really not good at acrylic, but I've practiced a lot and I feel like I'm getting way better. I've really just been working on putting sort of a ball of it on my real nail and then waiting for it to sort of dry a little bit and then pushing it down to the tip of it. And that has been giving me a really good shape. I feel like my biggest problem is having the beads be too wet, but I'm working on it. The ratios are probably like the hardest thing to master. I just really tried to stay away from my cuticle, even if that meant it wasn't like 100% meshed, because I did not want these to lift or like look weird when they grew out, and they actually looked just fine when they grew out. So here's what they look like with just the acrylic over top. Obviously there's some places where the acrylic's a little thin, but I just went over that after I realized when I was filing. I haven't really been using my drill to file as much. I've been working on really just using files, and that has worked out really well. Acrylic is like the worst thing to file, but I've been able to make it work. I've just been trying to be a lot cleaner when I'm actually doing it, that way I don't have nearly as much to file. For these, I really focused on the outside because I really don't like when nails are like really wide. I really like them to look really pinched. What I did use the drill for though was towards the cuticle. This bit has like a safety guard so you will not cut yourself, but I really use this to make the apex on my nails a lot more defined. And then I just like lightly went over my nail with the drill to just smooth everything out a tiny bit. You could 100% do this without the drill though if you were being super careful with your placement. And then I just went over and buffed my nails a little bit, sort of get them a little bit more smooth. And then because I was only able to do one layer of this gel that I'm going to do, I did put on a base coat. And then this is the See You Clearly from BMC, and this is just sort of like a sheer looking gel. And it just looks like, you know, like everyone's saying, like the jelly or like the stained glass. And you really only want to put one layer of this if that's the effect you're trying to have, because if you put two layers, it for sure will not be see-through anymore. You could have even put the strips on top. However, for me, because I knew that I was gonna come back in between my couple of trips, I wanted to be able to do a really quick fill and just file off the blue and still have some sort of design in my nail. So I wanted the strips like built in, so to say. And then finally I just put a top coat on, and then I'm using the Trinity one as usual because I love this one, and cuticle oil, and that is it. I kept these kind of plain because I was going out of town and I did not want to have any rhinestones or anything, or any chance of that catching. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to give this video a like if you like my nail videos and you want some more. But I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!